Just like, well, now that you're here, and now that the other necklace is safely in the bag of holding, I think maybe it's time that we attempt to remove the necklace from me. And assuming no one stops him, he'll kind of just grab it and slowly
Lorene goes to stop you.
Okay.
She says, I know we've established a quick trust these last couple of days, but I'd rather not you do this in my living room if you don't mind.
This is yes, of course. My apologies.
I'd like to believe this will be just fine, but on the off chance it's not, I'd rather do this in the vault so that if anything were to happen, it would be somewhat contained. No offense, of course, but I would like to not blow up my house.
This seems like fair enough. Fair enough. My apologies.
It'll also mean that we can separate you from the others, my sister included. If something were to happen, she would be the best person to try and counterbalance it, but it would be nice to have something between the people who are not going to be in the room and those who are.
Jason's like, well, then I suppose that's our next stop.
I'll go in as well.
I think I will too.
You need to make sure that someone's there to react if he loses consciousness or something.
I give you a knowing nod, and I'm going to follow your lead.
Okay. Do you have something you would like to share, Mike?
No, Mike's fine. Mike was just considering what exactly Isaac would be contributing to the saving his butt thing there, but that's fine. That's whatever. Do you.
He'll write a loving story about it someday.
There you go. he wants to bear witness so that he can have a marvelous account of it when...
he wants to be in the room where it happens.
Also, he'd like to see him die painfully, but hey,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what is Karash contributing from the other room? I think is the real question.
I was thinking about it. Lena's in there. You don't need me.
So I guess we gotta go to the vault. Is that in her house or at the bank place?
Yeah, it's right there. Right?
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that's in the secret one behind the bookcase. So it's very close.
Okay.
So those are the ones who are going in. Everyone else will stay outside. Okay.
Yep. I kind of tell Tessian, I say, be careful.
And Tessian gives her a nod, and there's like a moment of hesitation, but then puts his hand on her shoulder and squeezes it in assurance. And then, yeah.
And as you remove your hand, no, it's fine now. It's been dealt with. It's good. We're okay. I will just ask this up front so that you can't accuse me of any impropriety later. A bag of holding, with Lena or not.
I was actually just thinking about that too. I don't know if it should be in there with us. I think that defeats the purpose a little bit. I think I'm going to have Karash hold on to it just because I know that the chest is in there and I don't want Grail to necessarily have to touch it.
I think we take it with us.
You think so?
I just don't know if anything in the, it's in the bag of holding, so if it's strong enough to cause a reaction from there, I don't know that the vault's going to prevent anything beyond that.
That's actually a good point.
And it might be good to see what happens, if anything, but I'm sure it would happen on the outside. So maybe it does. Maybe it should be on the outside.
I guess Tessian could ask, is the vault designed to contain or turn off magic? Is this how do I put this?
It's not an anti-magic field. It's basically a barrier so that things on the outside don't get in, things on the inside don't get out, at least easily.
Okay. That was my question.
It wouldn't stop the highest level stuff, but it's at least well fortified enough that it's meant to be an anti-magic mechanism, essentially.
So maybe we could bring it in and it would just contain everything if anything
I say we bring
happened?
it in and find out.
Okay, that's fair.
If it activates, that's not great for us, but at least we know then it's activating from the bag of holding inside of a vault designed to turn off magic.
Well, but I'm in the vault with it, so then that would...
Right.
Yeah, because it's not turning off magic in there.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. See, it's not... That's why I was asking. I was saying, if it's turning off magic, we can't even pull it out of the bag of holding. We just have a bag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Basically, you have magic effects inside the vault, magic effects outside the vault. They don't cross the streams, at least as far as Lorene knows. Okay, So Lorene basically says, well, if we're going to take a scientific approach to this, I would say we'll have you go in, the three of you, wait, say, 15 seconds, and assuming you're ready, remove it. We can open the vault again in a minute or two if we haven't heard anything by then, and because we'll know you have removed it in a certain time frame.
Yeah.
I nod.
Tessia nods. He's not super excited about being locked in a vault potentially, but yeah, sure.
And Lorene has kind of a spark with all this. Like, you can see this is definitely her wheelhouse as far as conceptually. She might not know what's happening with these specific items, but just the idea of, like, figuring things out is something that appeals to her overall. So, if everyone's good with the plan, that means Tessian, Isaac, and Lena heading into the vault.
Once again, splitting the party.
Hey, but only by feet this time.
Yes.
For now.
So we all just like get sucked into a time warp and goodbye.
God.
Oh god.
Yeah. Could be a thing. You three head inside. Bag of holding stays out, yes? That's the final answer there?
No, it was going in,
Let's
wasn't
go
it?
in, so Lena, you're going to have that?
I'm
Okay.
gonna hold on to it.
So you guys head in. Lorene wishes you luck. And once seeing that you're kind of inside, she tells you to kind of stay towards the front of the vault. As you guys step inside, because you're getting the first clean look at this, it has its own interior lighting, and there's kind of like this entry portion that's more of a hallway. It leads into a room that seems to have all sorts of different mechanisms and some tables and some stuff in the back. And she's like, if you would, just stay away from my stuff in the back. If something is going to happen, I'd like to not have it explode.
I say yes, of course.
God, this is the perfect time to just loot her vault. Just if we were thieves, just like, oh, we're so sick, it'll be fine. Close the vault door and just take everything.
Mm-hmm. So she wishes you luck, and she closes the vault door behind you.
We wait the prerequisite 15 seconds.
I look like I want to put my hand on your shoulder, but I don't because I'm like squeezing the bag and I'm like hesitant to let it go even a little bit.
Tessian kind of gives them both a nod, make sure he's not touching either one of them, and then he just takes the necklace off.
As the necklace clears your head, this feels like the end of the last episode now, but in reverse. Or 2 sessions ago, whatever.
Yeah.
You have had this vague feeling of warmth, especially centered sort of around your chest where the brooch was dangling off the end of the necklace. As the circle part of it clears your head, you feel that somewhat familiar stomach drop feeling.
Oh god.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. This could just be
you
me.
might just puke, but that's fine.
Exactly. I'm proficient in these. I mean, I only rolled a
Just puke in the nice vault.
15.
It's good.
You feel as though your knees are going to buckle. And this is still like you have the necklace sort of like above you, and you've cleared your head with it, and it's still in your hands. And you feel that same kind of familiar stomach drop. Isaac and Lena, as you're looking on this, you can see this moment where he kind of looks up at you and he looks concerned.
Okay.
His form
Okay.
shimmers.
I'm gonna.
If he is not already doing it, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put the necklace back down immediately.
As you put the necklace back on him, Tessian, to make this short, you guys watch as he appears to zone out again. And Tessian, you get a chance to relive the same process that you went through yesterday, as this is placed back on you.
No.
I will say this, because you've been through this once before, you'll have a couple of new insights here, because you already have an idea what to expect.
And because the DM is subtly trying to inform us what we're missing.
Hold on, I gotta scroll down to the other section. There we are. In the scene with the chromatic dragons, this is still identical with, again, all the same situation as before. The one thing you notice is they are not attacking the city. They're flying past it. You're not entirely sure which direction they're headed, but as you can kind of keep an eye on them and know more what to expect from these series of visions, they are clearing the city walls and going somewhere. Don't know where. The flatland section, the thing that you can pick up on this time is those are absolutely piles of bodies on the ground, smoking in the distance, and around you as the vision kind of just pans across this, from the looks of it, battlefield. You can just see that there are hundreds, thousands, as far as the eye can see. Some of them bunched together, some of them strewn across and separate. The vision of the cradle, that hand that you saw is rocking it back and forth. It's like the scene is extended in this case, and despite the fact that it's still very haphazardly moving and sporadic, you watch as that same hand stops rocking the cradle, reaches out of frame somewhere, and places an all too familiar necklace on the baby inside the cradle. Isaac and Lena, you watch as Tessian is again sort of holding his head in pain.
Well, so I tell Lena, like, he's doing it again, but the first time it was with the defiled necklace.
Yes. Why is it happening now with Grail's necklace? God. Last time her necklace started glowing in response. Should we try to get the defiled necklace chest open again?
I would
see
say
if it's glowing?
get it out,
Okay.
and I'm going to open the vault door to get everybody in.
I have taken out the chest.
So open the door, tell everybody we have a situation in here.
Oh,
And
Grail
will freeze because
Grail's
he's on a wireless connection. And
frozen.
Oh no.
I guess, Chris, is a question for the dragons, the chromatic dragons. How many dragons are there?
you can't get a full scope of them, but in this time you get to see a little bit better of it. Michelle's back. Good. You see at least 4.
Okay.
You can make out a red one among them.
Do I recognize the red one at all? Like, do I know that Tessian knows of at least, like, a red dragon because of his history with Thea. Does he recognize that one at all? Like,
in what you're able to see? No.
Yeah, okay.
Not enough time to put a piece like that together.
Yeah.
So you guys open the door to the vault. Are you having everybody come in?
I'm explaining the situation. I'm saying rapid fire. We need to figure out what to do. Last time this didn't happen. I think I'm mostly talking to the healer on one hand, and I'm saying, what do you think? And on the other, I'm talking to Grail and the team, and I'm like, what happened? What happened the first time? He had the bad necklace on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's when the vision started. We took it off. He started shimmering.
And the vision stopped.
And then we put on the good necklace. Now the good necklace is on him, and he's having the visions.
Like, did I have the visions as soon as it was off my head,
Yeah.
or is now that they put it back down, do I still have them?
That's a good
I guess
question.
is a
Now if
question.
they put it back on.
Oh, do they put it back on? I'm getting them.
Yeah. You were shimmering when the necklace was removed. When they put it back on,
Then it happened.
you
again.
had visions.
Well, I can't say anything. I'm having visions right now, so y'all have fun.
He's in Vision Land, having a wonderful time.
My question is, what do we do? Do we take it off? Do we leave it and let it play out? Last time it seemed like his health deteriorated when we did that.
Yeah, I'm probably taking damage right now that we don't know about.
we... Yeah, can we get a check on him? And I talked to the healer. Like, can you assess how he's doing physically?
She says, I can try. This is unlike anything I've seen before, but...
I need a health check. Stat!
Rolled a 4. She tries to like grab hold of the side of his arm just to get a sense of what he's going through at the moment and waits a tick. Tessian still seems to kind of have his eyes kind of scrunched up as though he's in at least some pain, not nearly as bad as the ones last time. She says, it's strange, he feels fine. It's sort of like when I administered the healing for the curse. His physical body seems normal, but you said something happened last time after this?
We took it off and he was pretty heavily damaged.
She says, I don't know if the necklace is the best thing for him or not.
And then there's the question we wanted to test. We floated the idea of Grail testing it. The defiled necklace. I don't know if that's a good idea either. It could fix everything. It could lead us to many more problems.
Tessian.
Mm-hmm.
After placing the necklace on the babe in the cradle,
Mm-hmm.
the person's perspective through whom you are looking gets up and leaves the room, and your vision goes black again. Only this time, a moment passes, and as you kind of clear your head, you're back in the vault. With some concerned people looking around you, and Lorraine's sister clutching your arm.
And Tessian is immediately like, I'm back.
Oh my god. Okay. Good.
Are you feeling okay?
I don't know. He pats himself. Does he feel okay?
You have not taken any necrotic damage from this. You did take 4 points of psychic damage from the strain, but it's nowhere near as bad, both in-game terms and out of terms, as last time. You can feel the difference. Like, you're still a little bit out of sorts and just kind of getting your orientation back, but it does not feel like last time.
So what we can say is that Grail's necklace is tethering Tessian here, in some manner of speaking. Did you have visions again, Tessian?
Tessian nods. He's like, they were the same. I knew what to look for. I could notice a few different things, but the dragons weren't attacking the city. They were moving past it. I think the field was the mana cannon. The smoke were bodies. It was a battlefield or something of the sort. And the child in the crib, he looks to Grail. I'm pretty sure it was you, Grail. The vision continued just a moment longer, and whoever it was that I was occupying the perspective, they handed this necklace to the child. I can only think that that means you, or a Grail. I don't know. It
Perspective is interesting. That's what I was asking about before. So you're not just seeing scenes out there, you're seeing it from the eyes of a witness.
It's possible that the visions are so... They move in this strange way. It could be possible that I was seeing these dragons from a perspective or standing in this field, but the only one that I knew that I could see the hands of whoever I was passing the necklace on to the child.
So if we extrapolate that further, it stands to reason that the woman, the individual in the crib with giving you the necklace was Grail's grandmother. That lines up from what we know. If that's the case there, we can posit with relative certainty that it's probably the same time frame of the dragon vision and the field vision, all from her perspective. It could help us nail down at least a time frame, possibly. But if that really was the monocanon...
Tessian kind of shakes his head. He's like, the Lycidian looked too different. It couldn't have been at the same time Grail was a child. It just doesn't match up. What happened when as I assume Tessian couldn't see, he's like, when I removed it, what happened? The necklace, I mean.
Well, you started shimmering again out of existence, and so
vibrating
and
as well.
So then we immediately put the necklace back on.
Tessian is just like, well, what happens if we just let me go?
We
don't
can't
know.
do that.
No.
To me, it's plenty to risk to find the truth. I don't know that that's one of them.
And he just didn't say anything.
The one thing I will say, since we sort of fast-forwarded through it, is there was one other difference in the scenes as they played out. And that instead of this like dead air static type effect in between them, it did seem as if a multitude of scenes were flying past at a rate too fast to possibly lock in on any of them. That's the only other difference between the first time and this.
Gotcha.
Right.
It looked less like static and more like I could tell that it was things.
Yes.
It just I could make them out. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know that Tessian would mention
play
that.
like a sequence?
Tessian's like, it's the same order, and there are more visions present. It was a little clearer this time, but just too fast. There's too many of them. I can't make them out.
Pure conjecture, but could it be that this is a necklace that has been passed down through the generations in Grail's family, and so what you're seeing is the memories of many owners of this necklace throughout time?
Tessian shakes his head. He's like, it's very, very possible, yes. That's why we may want to consider letting Grail be the one to wear it. She might be the only one that can make sense of her family's own past.
That is the big question.
Do you feel comfortable trying that, Grail?
And I look to Tessian and I say, not at the expense of your life.
Well, this would be different, Grail. Unfortunately, I think what we're saying is you would be trying on the defiled version.
I understand, but we don't know how that's going to impact Tessian either.
We don't. It could make it worse. It could fix it. It could regulate what has been thrown out of whack.
And I kind of seem a little beside myself.
I think it's your choice. And I'm not even saying if I think it's a good idea. What I will say is if we're going to try it, I feel like it's now or never. We're in a vault kind of designed for this. We're with an advanced healer. If we're going to do it, now's the time. And if not, I don't see us doing it later.
I'm kind of like wringing my hands and kind of looking at the floor, biting my lip, thinking about it. I look at Tessian and I say, I don't know. What do you think?
Tessian's just like, I think we need to see this through, one way or the other.
And again, silence. I'm really racking my brain, and I kind of look at them a little bit desperately, like, is there any other way we can? And I'm trying to honestly, it's just like I'm stalling, but like
pros and cons, Grail. I think a pro is this could help us. Right now we have a situation with Tessian it's not great. It could be worse, but he has to keep wearing your necklace or risk I don't even know what. This could address that. Obviously, a con is we don't know what it's going to do for you or him, and I'm thinking if this was designed for you to wear it by your grandmother, so whatever machination she had, opening it created an explosion, right? There are certain things that makes me think it's not as though she created this for you to find. That gives me pause. It seems like we are going against whatever grand plan someone had rather than playing into the scheme, if that makes sense.
Right.
You didn't find this in a good way.
I guess my question is like, what do I gain? So say I put it on and Tessian's fine and I learn all of these things about my foremothers. So what? Why does the past matter so much? Why do we need to know this information? Why can't Tessian just wear my necklace for the foreseeable future and we can continue as we are?
If I may, Grail, we've already seen places where the past is starting to bleed into the present. There's more going on here than just what we need to know. There's something else happening, and your family's past, these necklaces might be the best chance we have at figuring out that mystery and potentially saving lives or more.
It is your legacy, and it's unfortunate. You never asked for this, I know. But
No.
It's your choice. With what you inherited comes the decision. Do you want to see it through, or do you choose to reject it?
And I kind of look between everyone and I say, do you really think it's worth it?
Unfortunately, I think that's the decision for you.
I don't want this to be my decision. There's so much on the line personally, and not just for me.
We can't do it for you.
I know. If I could pass it off on somebody else, don't you know I'd do it in a second, in a heartbeat even. Is there a way that we can possibly try and damage control in case something does start to happen? You know, one of you can be next to me, one of you next to Tessie, and if something happens, we can cancel what's going on and stop it, hopefully. Or
Yes.
try.
Of course, of absolute course, and I have my own trepidations, but I want this to be your decision.
This is the point at which Lunaire takes a step forward. She says, I don't have a full understanding of what this is or what may happen because of it. It sounds like there are things that are even beyond just good or evil, bad or good. It's complicated to me, but if there's necrotic energy involved, I could at least protect you from that. If there's anything that has to do with what this business that you're talking about time and changing planes, I don't know that I have anything for you, but she comes up to you, Grail, and she puts her hand on you and she casts Death Ward, which says, since nobody has the spell, you touch a creature and granted a measure of protection from death. The first time the target would drop to 0 hit points as a result of taking damage. The target instead drops to 1 hit point, and the spell ends. If the spell is still in effect when the target is subjected to an effect that would kill it instantaneously, without dealing damage, that effect is instead negated and the spell ends. Lasts for 8 hours. It's a 4th level spell.
Okay.
I'll cast Bless on you, because why not?
And I kind of, as this is kind of happening, and Karash is blessing me, and she's doing this, I kind of say, I feel like everyone else has made a decision.
No pressure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, this is the point at which Lorene steps up. She says, it's more just a countermeasure to be safe, and even if you decide not to do this, it's a useful thing to have if we're going to keep experimenting through any other means. You and Tessian seem to be afflicted by something here, but just because we've done this doesn't mean you have to. You can only do this if it's what feels right.
I don't know what feels right. None of this feels right, but that said, I guess we can't keep running from it, can we? I mean, I guess we technically could, but and I'm still just kind of like really wrestling with this, and I look at Tessian again, and I say, if we do this, you promise me you'll come out on the other end. And I'm kind of smiling as I say it. Like, I want to hear something from you, some kind of confirmation.
And he kind of, he goes to put his hand on your shoulder and then realizes he's not sure how that works anymore. And he's like, of course. And you may want to inside check him because he's lying. So.
Yo, and like, I think I know, like, I know this. It's just almost like a formality, but like, I want to hear it from you. And yeah, so I kind of, with that, I look at Tessian and I nod, and I kind of turn to everybody and I say, okay, I guess we can give it a try. Let's do it.
That's one of my favorite lines I've heard in D&D. You might want to make an inside check because he's lying. So why do we do the check? So Lorene kind of gives you a look. She says, are you sure?
No, but I think we should try it.
She kind of sighs, and she says, I think you're right. If we're going to, we have to do it right, though. We'll step outside again. You have some protection now, at least, and we'll keep my sister separate in case we have to come in and do... And she seems kind of at a loss for words on this, but, you know, do something the best we can. And I don't think there should be any more than you two and perhaps one other in there.
And Tessian looks to Isaac, and he's like, Isaac, would you do the honors?
Way ahead of you.
I'll hand you the bag of holding because I have it and the chest, and I just kind of give you a look, and then step back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up to each one of you and like hold you by the shoulders and look you in the eye, and then move on to the next one.
So, the four of you step outside the vault.
And I kind of say, like, everything's going to be all right. I'm, like, really just telling myself this for my own peace of mind. But I kind of say, like, we'll see you on the other side, basically.
Tessian gives a very similar nod to Lena, like he did before he put on the necklace the first time.
And I kind of shake my head, but then I give you a nod as well.
Four of the rest of them step outside, look back in the vault. Lorene says, okay, same idea. Wait 15, 20 seconds or so. We'll wait another minute or so after that if we haven't heard anything and open it up, I suppose. If we start hearing some really terrible noises, we might wait a little longer. You understand, right? It's, you know, explosions and might just... Yeah. Let's not worry about that. I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Yeah, you can tell by my wide eyes I don't like the direction of
yeah,
what she's saying.
And she can kind of sense the room as she's saying it too, because she doesn't want to talk about the potential bad side of this, but she's like, I just want to mention, you know. Yeah.
Have you open a portal to hell? We're not opening this fucking vault. No,
pretty much, yeah. Like, she likes you guys. She respects you. She ain't trying to die for you, okay? She's not that friendly with you guys yet. Like, you guys are strong acquaintances now. She trusts you probably more than she should given the time span, although She knows more about your group than you might expect. But she ain't going to just walk into a death portal, basically, is what she's saying. She's going to help as best she can, except for the death portal. Mm-hmm. Okay. They walk outside. Well, they've already walked outside twice now, as I've said it. They're outside. They close the vault. Isaac, you have the bag of holding.
I'm going to start to pull it out. I'm going to say, I'm going to go to Grail first. I'm going to say, this is your last chance to back out.
I know. It's going to be all right, though. And I think it's for the best.
Okay. I'm going to grab it, and because she needs to, like, lock. We don't have a key, right? It's all lock picking still.
It has to be unlocked, yes.
So I'm going to pull it, and I'm going to keep it to where like half of it is out, because it didn't seem to thump until it was fully out last time.
Okay.
So she can just like lock pick it without worrying about it tussling around.
And I can cast Mage Hand in there, right? It's like, yeah, we can do that.
Yes.
So I will do that, and I will use my Thieves' Tools to unlock it.
Okay.
Okay.
And Tessian just is like, he's like, so the visions will come at you fast. Just try to focus on, them here and there. It's going to be like noise. They're going to move a lot. Just try to take it in. It'll be a lot, but if you focus on one thing, you should be able to see through it.
And I nod and I say, thank you. I'll try my best.
So I have it, and I'm going to pull it totally out of the bag.
Are you doing this with your hands or Mage Hand, by the way? Thieves' Tools.
Mage Hand.
Mage Hand. That's right, you said Mage Hand. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. Pull it all the way out of the bag.
Yeah, so I'm holding it. I'm going to say, I read one of the Tales of the Gunslingers once. One of the characters had a power where anything they thought of would be manifested real. I always thought this was an interesting metaphor, and I encourage both of you to follow suit. We all believe this will turn out okay, and it will, right, Tessian, Grail? We're all going to be good, and we're going to come out of this vault all together.
Yeah.
Tessian just nods.
Okay, I'm going to open it.
At this point, Lorene opens the vault. It's been a minute. She looks inside. No, I'm just kidding.
And
inspirational speeches. Come on, son. No,
I forget when Tessian held it. It didn't do like when he touched it. It didn't do anything.
Well, when
I should probably I'm just gonna open it to Grail. That's what I'll do.
When you open the box, there is this ever so slight burst of what appears to be necrotic, but also another type of energy. I'll say all three of you take a point of damage from it.
Okay.
It didn't have a lot of time to build up in one day.
Mm-hmm.
But just that, there's that almost like an aura more than it is an explosion, but just the box opening up kind of spreads this unease through the room. It's just kind of tightly contained in this hallway of the vault. And everybody kind of just recoils from it just ever so slightly. Nowhere near the destructive effect it had the first time. And as you open the box, and Grail, you go to reach out for the necklace, it floats up out of the box over your neck. And that's where we're in this session.
No!
I knew it!
So, next time, another cliffhanger with another person wearing a necklace. What could possibly go wrong this time?
God.
Literally anything and everything.
I suppose we'll have to find out next time on the Anachroschism.